welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be making fan art for things that I'd still be drawing if I was still a kid and never grew up. First I'm going to be making fan art for Monster High, so let's get right into it. I decided to draw Draculaura because she was my favorite when I was younger. To be honest, I think she's kind of most people's favorite. She seems to be the most popular for sure. I wanted to make her pose somewhat interesting or stand out. I didn't want to make her just doing like a cutesy pose with her hands or something like I originally thought of, because I felt like I could do something more creative with the picture. After giving it some thought, I decided that drawing her with her parasol would be the best because she carries around it all the time anyways, since she can't be exposed to any sunlight because she's a vampire. I do think that adding the parasol was a good decision because I think that it does look very cute and gives more interest to the picture. I feel like the picture looks cuter with it than it would have looked without it. I was excited to start adding the colors because her colors have always been very iconic to me. I love the hot pink. I mean, actually, to be fair, I don't like hot pink very much anymore because I just feel like it's too bright and like vibrant of a color, but I used to love it when I was younger, so drawing with the hot pink was a lot of fun because it made me think of just how much I used to love it back then. She was my absolute favorite character, and I don't remember that much about her, so I can't really tell you a whole lot. I just know that she's a vampire, but she's scared of blood, and I also have blood phobia and had blood phobia. So I related to her so much, and I loved that like she was a vampire but she like didn't suck blood, because I was also super scared of vampires when I was younger, but she made me feel better because it was like, oh, but she's not a scary one, which I know vampires aren't real, and I knew they weren't real back then, but I didn't want to take any chances in case they were real because I was so scared. I think that everybody had that one random thing they used to be scared of, right? Like the monster under your bed or something. I was scared of that too, even though I also knew that wasn't real, but vampires were a huge fear of mine. For some reason, I always checked in the showers for them, even though I've never really heard of vampires hiding in the showers. Anyways, for the shading, it was pretty fun and simple. I didn't run into any big issues with it. I was a little bit nervous to start shading her hair, which I haven't done yet, because she has these highlights in the hair, and I knew that I had to do multiple colors with it, and I was just very intimidated by the idea, but luckily it didn't turn out that hard, so I'm glad that I didn't struggle a bunch with it. I did have a doll of Draculaura, but I never had the original doll. I really wish I did. I had this version of her that was like a waitress, and I remember that I didn't like it that much. I was really happy that it was Draculaura, but I wanted her to look more like the version in the show and not just like this version of her that's just like a waitress, because I don't even remember her ever being a waitress in the show or books or anything. So I wasn't that impressed with it, but I mean, it was still her, so I was happy for a while, but I got rid of it after not super long, like I donated it. I think I was also just older, so I ended up kind of growing out of my Monster High phase pretty soon after I got that doll. The other dolls I don't remember her name. I want to say it's Taylor, but I don't think it was, but I'll put her up on screen. But I loved her so much. I thought that she was just so beautiful and cute. I also had another doll that I don't really remember, this like ghost girl. But yeah, I used to love Monster High because I thought that the characters were so fun, and I felt brave that I liked something but it had monsters in it. I liked a lot of things like that type of series, though. I feel like at the time there were lots of shows that had really well designed characters. Like there was Descendants, there was Winx, there was Monster High, there was Ever After High, and I loved that sort of thing in their character designs, and it's funny how looking back now we can actually see that they are really good character designs. I'm not just drawing one character in this video though. You know how I usually only draw one, but today I am drawing two, so you get a special video. The reason for that is because I did my sketchbook tour last week for my special video, but the thing is I was still drawing that week, so that's when I actually drew this Draculaura drawing, and the next picture that you're going to see in a couple minutes is going to be the picture that I am drawing more recently. I added these little bats, and I do think that they add a nice touch even though they're really small and hardly noticeable. Also, I hope I got her design pretty accurate. I tried my best, but I feel like I might have messed up on some things. I also feel like her face might be a little bit too long. I don't know why, but something about the way that it looks is definitely throwing me off. I mean, I kept trying to change it, but then I kind of just went back on that and sort of just changed where her ears were placed because I wasn't really happy with them. So like I said, I'm not fully happy with the look of the picture, but I think it's still cute overall, and I definitely did my best, so that's what counts, right? And now, just a few more finishing touches until I am done with this illustration, but the video is not over because I have more fan art to make, namely for Winx Club, and I am drawing Flora. For the pose, I decided on having her just holding this like bunch of flowers because I mean, she's called Flora, flowers, you know. I had to do it. And also, like, in general, I just think that poses with flowers are just so pretty and graceful looking, so like, I could not help myself, okay? I had a lot of trouble with the eyes. I made them way too big at the beginning and they just looked really awkward, but after some changes I was able to make them look mostly okay. I don't really have any issues with them in the end. I also had a bit of trouble with making her hair like kind of flow down because the pose was a bit like she's leaning over to one side a lot, so making the hair falling looking natural was a little bit difficult for me. I went a little bit lazy with the flowers. I kind of just scribbled a bunch of them on and didn't make them any particular type of flower. I feel like that's my one regret about this picture. I feel like I could have made the flowers look a lot better, but whatever. I didn't really have extra time to make them look better anyways. I did my best. Flora is another character that I think her hair color is really close to my real life hair color. She just has this really nice color that reminds me of mine. Kind of also like I've mentioned before in a video that Serena from Pokemon's hair looks like my color. It's always funny when I see characters with this color because I feel like I don't really know what the name for this hair color is. And I don't see it very often with characters with brown hair, but you see it occasionally, and it's just the one that I feel like is closest to mine because my hair isn't really blonde, but it's not really brown either. It's like this mid-tone. I don't know what it's called. Coloring the flowers was absolute pain, so you could see that I kind of stopped for a while and just did other stuff. I had made the like stems of the flowers, I made way too many. I basically just scribbled a bunch of them on and then deleted them later and made it make more sense, but coloring the flowers was not fun because I had to fill in so many lines that I had done of either the stems or just in general her hair or just other lines that got in the way, and it was just, it was annoying. But I soon got past that and got to do the main shading, which was a lot more interesting and a lot more fun. She doesn't have that many separate colors or pieces to her outfit, so it wasn't that difficult. I just kind of got to have fun with it, so I liked that. Just the same as how I used to love Monster High, I was very obsessed with Winx at a time. My favorite character was not only Flora, I actually had a few favorites. My other favorites were Bloom and also Musa. But I decided to draw Flora for this video because I don't really remember having a particular one that I liked so much more than the others. I just kind of liked those three. And I like Flora's design the best, and I had an idea for the drawing. I just felt like she would be the funnest to draw, so I decided to go with her. Shading her hair was pretty simple, so that was also enjoyable. Overall, this picture wasn't that hard. I didn't have a bunch of things that I ran into that were annoying. I mostly just enjoyed myself. Oh, and yeah, for her wing, I couldn't really find any good reference pictures of how exactly it, like, attaches to her or where it comes from, so I kind of just drew it there, and I didn't draw the other one. I don't know where they come from or how they work, so I am sorry if this is Winx inaccurate. I tried my best. I think it looks fine. I don't know how much sense they make, because I don't remember how they look in the show. So I hope it's okay, but you know, whatever. I think it looks cute, and it's okay if art isn't perfect. I mean, I'm just drawing and I'm trying to make something that I think looks nice, but I'm also just trying to have fun and be creative, so it's okay if everything isn't completely accurate. But I still always want to try, you know? For the background, I kind of debated on what color I wanted to make it, but I ultimately decided that green was the only one that made sense. And I added a whole bunch of other colors with these weird brushes that I was using, and I absolutely love the look. It just looks so fun. I don't know why. I don't watch Winx anymore, but what I am currently watching is the series Onegai My Melody Kurukuru Shuffle, which is season 2. I actually just finished it today as of recording this audio, so that is really cool. I absolutely loved it. Season 2 was better than season 1, as I saw some people saying online, so that's awesome. If you guys haven't watched it, you need to, because it's a really good show. Oh, at this point I started wanting to change the flowers because I thought that they weren't detailed enough, so I kept adding little random details to them to try to make them look a bit better because, like I said, I just wasn't really happy with them. I do think that the details that I added helped, but like there wasn't much I could do. I would have to completely redraw the flowers to make them look super detailed. I could only do so much. Oh, and I didn't mention at the time I was doing it, but adding the glitter on her outfit was so fun. I think that it looks really cute, and again, the hot pink just reminds me of how much I used to love that color when I was younger, so that was fun to add. And do not worry, you guys, I did not forget about the real-time footage, and in just a moment we're gonna switch over to it. So let's go onto the footage. By the way, I also used to have a Flora doll. I didn't have the regular doll of her though. I had this like special deluxe version. I'll put it up on screen, and I honestly think that it is the prettiest one. Some of the Flora dolls didn't look so good. I was seeing them online. I didn't know they used to look like that. I definitely think that mine does look cuter. No offense if you have a different doll. Also, if you used to like either Monster High or Winx, I'd love to see in the comments which characters were your favorite. And even if you didn't like Monster High or Winx, tell me in the comments what you used to like when you were younger, and if you were making fan art for something you used to love when you were little, what would you do? I'd love to hear it. At this point, I am super duper close to finishing the illustration. I just have a few more details. And ta-da! Here we are. Here is a finished picture of Flora. And the finished picture of Draculaura. If you guys liked this video, please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, and tell me your favorite drawing from this video. Bye for now!